Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says in an exclusive interview with Euronews that the onus is on Hamas to agree to a US-backed ceasefire deal. At least 5 people have been killed after Russia launched a large-scale combined missile and drone attack on Ukraine overnight into Sunday.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, thank you for joining us. To begin, we want to focus on the recent developments surrounding the latest deal with Hamas. Now, the deal comes close to exactly 2 years since the Hamas attack on the 7th of October. We might see the hostages freed on the same day they were taken 2 years ago. Is this what makes this a good deal for Israel?
Well, we accepted the deal, as did all the world. It was President Trump's plan. Hamas says that it accepted the deal. Now the onus is on Hamas. This plan consists of 2 parts. The first part is releasing all the hostages. Israel makes a tactical withdrawal, stays in Gaza. And then the second part is meant to demilitarize Gaza and disarm Hamas. That will be negotiated.
Prime Minister, just to follow up, so what happens if Hamas does not release the hostages? What will Israel do? How Israel will change its stance and the strategy?
Of course, I can't tell you if Hamas will agree to it. I think that it's possible. I hope it'll happen, but I can't guarantee that it'll happen. And so if it doesn't happen, what President Trump has said is that he will back Israel completely in acting forcefully against Hamas. Well, let's hope that we can finish it the easy way and not the hard way.
Prime Minister, Europe has been visibly absent from this process.
Europe has been absent because Europe has basically caved in to Palestinian terrorism, to radical Islamist minorities in their midst. And they basically said, just give them a Palestinian state, which would be the ultimate reward for Hamas after doing the greatest massacre against the Jews since the Holocaust. Now we'll give you a state in which you can continue the war against Israel. That's why Europe has essentially become irrelevant and displayed enormous weakness. If you want to fight terror, stand up and fight terror. Stand up and be forceful against terrorism. Don't capitulate to its demands. Don't feed the crocodile, in Churchill's words, because it's going to come after you after it devours Israel or any other country.
At least 5 people have been killed after Russia launched a large-scale combined missile and drone attack on Ukraine overnight into Sunday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said 9 regions were targeted, including Lviv, Zaporizhzhia and Odessa, with cruise, Kinzhal missiles and Shahed drones. In Lviv, a Taya family of 4, including a teenage girl, died when missiles struck residential areas and an industrial park that later caught fire. In the southern city of Zaporizhzhia, 1 woman was killed and 9 others injured. Local officials said the attack destroyed homes and left around 3,000 households without power. The assault came just a day after a deadly strike on a train station that left dozens injured. Kyiv called the attack savage and said it was designed to hit rescuers and civilians fleeing the scene. Russia has stepped up airstrikes on Ukraine's rail networks and energy grids ahead of winter, a tactic seen in previous years since Moscow's full-scale invasion began. A heavy police presence lingered in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi on Sunday, one night after intense clashes between riot police and protesters. Police used water cannons to push back crowds who tried to storm the gates of the presidential palace. Tens of thousands had gathered to protest against the ruling Georgian Dream Party, accusing it of steering the country away from the European Union. The party froze EU membership talks last year, calling Brussels' approach blackmail. Georgian Dream insists the country's path to EU membership remains steady. Saturday's rally, called the National Assembly, saw protesters accuse the government of political backsliding and demand new leadership. It was held as 8 opposition parties boycotted municipal elections, which were ultimately dominated by Georgian Dream.